sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Restore Christendom.
Good evening,
I
everybody.
am Tommy,
And I'm Emily.
and what day is it?
Oh, it's Wednesday, May 21st, 2025 at 7:19 p.m.
Okay,
Good evening. Hello.
we finally got that out of the way.
Got that out of the way. How's everybody doing?
Yes. How was everybody this Wednesday evening? It is Wednesday evening, right?
It is
Yes, I
Wednesday,
went to
yeah.
mass. It was definitely Wednesday evening mass. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a weird week.
It has been a weird week.
It seems super long so far.
Yeah?
And I don't know why.
Well, do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Monday after dinner and stuff, we went to mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Tuesday, yesterday, after dinner, we went to a
Oh, the National Eucharistic Procession at the cathedral. Yes.
right, and
Yeah.
adoration, and then this evening,
I went to mass.
right.
Okay. So what you're saying is God's making me tired.
No, it's not. Not exactly. Not exactly. It's just that you've had a very front end of the week.
Yeah.
Load.
It's been very fun, and it's just going to continue.
Yeah.
And I got adoration tomorrow from 7 to 8,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, you wanted to switch your time slot anyways. You need to, we got to get you into the appy thingy and switch your slot.
oh, I can get in. There's a
Yeah.
flock note and do it. I don't know if I want to switch my spot. I don't know.
Oh, I thought because it was going to be down in the little side chapel, and also that it's the closing slot, so it's a high traffic in that tiny little room.
Yeah. Well, are they doing it in that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
they're-
going to be the adoration
I
chapel.
know it's
I
going
don't
to be,
know.
but when they do switch to that, I will probably change my time.
Okay.
But
I would think that over the summer they're going to do it because I don't know that everybody is as active in the church doings in the summertime as they are in the fall and winter.
okay,
And that's
see, I was
just
going to
me
say the
making
opposite.
assumptions based off of human behavior.
Yeah, I was going to say the opposite actually. It seems like mass attendance has picked up because all the snowbirds are back in town.
True.
From Florida and thereabouts, and I figured with more people in town attending the parish, things would be busier.
I guess we'll have to find out
Yeah.
because, yeah, I guess last year we weren't really paying attention to all the goings on.
Not this time. Not through most of the summer. It wasn't
No,
until
we were
like
just showing up.
September, October that we kind of got locked in and.
Yeah, we were just showing up to mass on Sundays.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But yeah. So either way, it's been a long week, and then we have to go down to Carbondale, and
Are you reading that username?
yeah.
Sorry. Good evening. How you doing? Welcome. Good evening. It's fun to have you.
Yeah. So anyways, Friday we gotta drive 4 hours down to Carbondale for a wedding.
Yes, a wedding.
It's just gonna be a really long week. Ugh. So anyway, with that
But
being said, enough of me complaining about nonsense.
oh, that's fine. Find me a streamer that doesn't start their show with a complaint about the ooh, so hardy to be me and do the streamy. Ooh, it's so hardy.
Oh no, the streaming's the easy part.
No. I'm being
Yeah, I know what
I'm
you're saying.
being especially turdy. I'm thinking of specific people here. But it's kind of I don't know. There's a certain group of people that the first few minutes of their stream they give you like a real human being life recap, and it's usually some smallest violin situation, some whining.
Yeah. What's up, Will? And apparently that's your Rick.
Oh, goody. Okay. You know what? I kind of had a feeling it was, but I wasn't 100%
Right?
sure.
Yeah.
But I kind of was like,
It's
who
very
else would do
yes. That's
that?
it's a very Rick kind of.
It is a very Rick behavior. It's very Florida man. I got my grill in
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah.
No whaler's garb again. Exactly. There you go. You outed yourself. Hey,
Yeah.
Lucas.
What's going on, Lucas? Where's my headset over here?
Hilarious. Your hat's over there?
Yeah.
You brought it down?
It's right there.
Oh.
I can't reach it. I can put on the hat for you, sir. What up, Stacks? How are you, sir?
Oh, it is right
Hmm. Okay, there we go. Let me. There we go. We're wailing now. What are you doing over there, woman? What are you doing over there?
Don't worry.
I'm sorry, guys. We are live. You know, Emily.
I know that we're live.
Just in case you weren't aware, we are live.
I know we're live, but this is a live show.
Okay.
These people come here for these antics. They enjoy the chaos.
That's
of
what they're here
live.
for. Your antics. I don't
mean,
think that's what they're here for.
Not mine specifically, just antics in general, you know. Entertain.
Subliminal wants me to drop a fat beat. I don't think I can do that, sir.
What is a beat?
You know, a boop,
It's funny,
boop.
Lucas. He has a yellow raincoat.
Yeah, not that kind of yellow raincoat though.
No, I know which one he's talking about, but he does have a mustard yellow
Raincoat, yes I do.
like, raincoat material, raincoat for the outdoorsing.
Yeah. I'll have to get a yellow raincoat to go with the hat, and then we'll be the Gordon's fisherman dude.
I do feel like Curious George quite often when we're outside. I just have to look for the man in the yellow coat.
Yeah.
And Curious George, it's the man in the yellow hat, but we all know he wears the yellow coat too. Okay.
Okay. Calm down. Got my DJ headphones on. They're the same headphones I always wear. I didn't realize they were DJ headphones.
Well,
Or is that his fans? Is that his slick way of calling me a DJen?
oh, I don't think so.
I don't know. I think he's calling me a DJ.
I think he'd be more inclined to call you a dirty jean jacket than to call you a degen.
Oh, you can yell at Emily for the no ornamentation on the front of the hat.
What am I supposed to put on the front of the hat? What ornamentation is he supposed to
I
have?
think it's just like an anchor and rope thing, you know. Like I don't know. I don't know, man. See, you need to have these people describe this fishing outfit that I'm supposed to be wearing.
Yeah, send me mock-ups.
Yeah, so she needs pictures so she knows what to go out and buy me.
Yeah, I'm not I was about to say I'm not top lobster able to pull images out of the ether with mere ideas. Not me. That's not me. Not
Right.
capable of that. So if you guys have the idea in mind, send it my way.
Yeah,
and
no-
I'll find someone who has made it a thing, or I'll see if I can make it a thing. But I can't just pull things out of the nothing. Not all the time. Sometimes I can, but very rarely. Very rarely.
Yes.
Very rarely.
Golden emblem such as an anchor. Yeah, that's what I said. Anchor and chain, anchor and rope.
Okay. Oh. I'll see I'll see what kind of patches I can find. That's what look at the fish stick box. You know what? That's actually a good feedback, Lucas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's look at the Gordon's Fisherman box, and there you go.
That's Bluto's hat from the live action Popeye.
It could be. It very well could be. I don't know. This is what my wife got.
I'm gonna add that one to Morning Crew movie list.
I said, hey babe, the people want me to be dressed like a whaler, so make that happen. And this is what I got.
It is not leather. It's more of like a woolly, tweedy.
Yeah, it's like a woolly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not a leather one. He's not trying out for the village people, so I didn't opt for the leather one.
I could be the village people though.
You could be.
If I was homosexual and could sing,
Theatrical.
yeah, I could be the village people.
Yeah.
I'm neither, so
Right. Well,
none of the above.
right. That's why I went with the traditional tweed
Yes.
style. You know, because you do at least have the boat out there, and you have the smoking pipe.
Yeah.
So you're basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
What if we just got the yellow raincoat and the yellow rain hat? Would that work? Like the yellow rain bucket hat thing.
Good people.
Would that be acceptable? Or does
If
it have to be
he's-
the raincoat with the blue
If he's ready.
captain's hat with the anchor on it?
The Mariners logo.
No, sir. There'll be no Mariners logos.
No.
Bad enough we still have a Seahawks blanket around here somewhere that the kid won't let us throw away.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. You know what? It's whatever.
Yeah.
12 and 12. Sorry. Anytime I think of or hear with the Seahawks, I think of Sean's. If you are a person who goes to weird places for music, SoundCloud.com. You're going to want to type in Inner Circle 253. It's all one word. The numbers at the end, number 2, number 5, number 3. And you want the song 12 in. It's a little bop. It's about the Seattle Seahawks. You know, feel what you will about the team and all that. But it's a fun little song. And I need to write this baby down before I forget about it.
Yeah, Lucas, we're Catholics, and there's, lots of Fridays. So we have plenty of fish sticks, Gordon's fish sticks in the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
You can go check the freezer anytime.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely not going to run up there and grab a box and show you guys what it looks like. But the thought ran through my mind when I read, just check the box.
Right.
Not like I don't have a box of them or 2 or 3 sitting in the freezer.
Yes, sir. If I was
right.
homosexual. If
then.
Right. Unless Emily's a tranny and I'm unaware of it. She's been hiding a penis from me for a while.
So good at it.
Right.
None of you will ever know.
Yeah, you made it 10 years hide nothing from me. That's
some ladies
champion.
Some ladies brag about hiding their farts. I brag about hiding other things.
Yes. You like putting fish sticks in your mouth? What are you, a gay fish?
What are you?
Oh, great South Park moments.
They don't understand the things I say on Twitter.
Okay, so we're going to actually get to the show here?
Sure.
So on Sunday, we said we would get around because... What are you laughing at?
Never.
Oh, check inside her button.
It ran. Sorry. Yeah. See? Gosh darn it, subliminal. You're not supposed to tell nobody. I don't even know how you know.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, as I was saying, on Sunday, we mentioned that we've been getting so many messages in our Twitter X inbox about these crazy Protestant priestesses and
inboxes and mentions.
Yes, and mentions.
It's been brought to our attention.
Of these crazy heresies, is what I will call them.
Yes.
That these Protestant churches are now preaching.
Yes.
mostly by women, but I think a couple of these might be men. I know there are men. We've shown men preaching this garbage too, but it really gets bad when it comes from the women, which is
Yes.
why women aren't allowed to be priests.
Well, and we've talked about this. I've mentioned it before. Like, lady brain is a real thing. Like, there are certain things that a woman brain is capable of that men brains just aren't capable of. You know, like there's some things that y'all just aren't capable of doing. And exceedingly nonsensical nonsense is one of the things that you guys aren't good with. You know, when girls are young, we do a lot of fantasy playing. You know, we pretend a lot of things. We have wild imaginations. Whereas boys are more tactile, more like physical. They want to
Yeah,
run around and be the strongest guy, not like imagine the prettiest girl. You know, like
right.
you guys are more physical, reality based, and we're more lady brained. And when it comes to religion, there's just no room for that. There's no room for that. Not that
Yeah,
there's no room for no women. I'm not saying that. There is tons of room for women. There is immense amounts of room for women to be involved in the ancillary bits of religious life. Like, there's tons of room for you to organize a ladies group and make sure that the elders in your parish are taken care of. There's tons of room for you to show up and clean the parish. There's tons of room for you to show up and weed the flower beds, you know? There's tons of room for you to show up and make sure that there's somebody writing birthday cards for the priest, you know? You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of room for you to show up and do things that women are
yeah.
good at doing.
Teach how to
Um,
raise the kids, catechize the children.
yep, yep. Be a support system for young mothers, new mothers, newlywed women. You know what I mean? Like, be like, do the good things that we're good at doing. Don't try to do things that we're not good at doing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, for
Like,
sure.
definitely a get in where you fit in situation, and it's one place where women are really in 2025, women are really gonna have to humble themselves and say, "You know what? This just isn't the spot. This isn't the spot for me to play intellectual smart girl. It's not it. I can do this at the university. I could do this at the workplace. In the church house is not the place I do this at.
Yeah.
This is
Honestly, women really need to humble themselves and get out of the workplace
I
too.
mean, yeah, for sure, for sure. But if you could, the reason I said it that way is because if you can humble yourself to be just a observer participant of the church house, then you will be moved to not be that way in other places. Like, if you can humble yourself in the house of God, in the presence of God, then you can
Right.
then humble yourself in other
Yeah.
places.
Arcane's right there. He said there's this weird inverted thing where women are trying to become the men they want to be with.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. And any man that they wind up with will never match up to where they think they deserve or should be or good enough or they're always going to see him as beneath themselves because now they've ascended this I've become the man I want to be, so you are now
right.
beneath me.
Yeah. You're competing with me, not with other men anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the reason why most women don't respect their husbands. But whatever. Um, doo, doo, doo. So anyway, so let's get to
I've
this
read that in National
first.
Geographic.
Let's get to this first one here. This is one of the longer clips. I don't know if we're gonna play the whole thing. It's 2 minutes and 49 seconds, but let's
Oh gosh.
yeah.
Just the closed captioning on it to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus' triumphant drag queen entry into Jerusalem is doomed. Much of fascism is a bluff. Look at our loyal cult. Listen to our outrageous language. Heed our threats of violence. We are inevitable. It's a bluff. It's a ridiculous mirage of might that is made up to make us feel small. And in the face of this, Jesus laughs. Because that is what Palm Sunday is. It is a total drag show of a military parade, homespun and homemade with the simple things that people simply had on hand. Jesus
Man,
didn't need
what?
shiny
Drag show?
armor or powerful horses
Man,
or
what?
lions in chains. Because Jesus is the Lion of Judah, and Jesus, in this moment, is doing a drag show. Not to quote myself, but I do talk about this in my book, and I have a chapter called A Drag Queen Messiah that I want to read from.
In my book.
Drag is a
What have you
performance
done?
art form
Watched
that
a
takes the
Taylor
bizarre
Marshall
and the
video or
banal to an
two?
extreme,
Drag Queen
holding up a
Messiah is the
mirror
name
to
of
our
her book.
lives so we can find humor and release in the
Oh,
silliness of being alive.
with the
Drag queens
silliness.
use bold makeup and exaggerated dance moves to illumine the ludicrous beauty standards and at the same time uplift what is beautiful in the mundane reality of life. Drag is an art form.
Okay, that's enough of this crazy lady.
I can't do it.
Yeah, no, me neither. So apparently, Palm Sunday is a drag show. Is Jesus doing a drag show? I've never heard this before.
Mhm.
She,
It's a military parade parody
yeah,
against
that's
the Marxism. So did she just?
no.
No, I want
Not against the Marxism, against the fascism. They are the Marxists. They're fighting against the fascists.
No, I mean, not that I want to run it back, but if you listen, she's talking about like the Jerusalem, the the Pharisees and all that, them being the Marxists, being the loud, the bold,
I heard
you
her use
can't
the word
do.
fascist, not Marxist, but okay.
I heard Marxist and read Marxist on the closed captioning.
Oh, okay. I was read on closed captioning here. Here. Put myself. There we go. Let's see.
Military.
or lions in chains. Because Jesus is the Lion of Judah, and Jesus, in this moment, is doing a drag show. Not
That
to
was before that. Just before that.
Oh, why is this taking so long?
Oh, because we're scrubbing it and it's.
Jesus laughs. Cult, listen to our outrageous
Marxism.
language, heed our threats of violence. We are inevitable. It's a bluff. It's a ridiculous mirage of might
Maybe she
that is
says
made up to
Marxism
make
and
us feel
fascism.
small and in the face of this. Much of fascism is a bluff. Look at
Yeah,
our loyal
it was
cult.
fascism.
Listen
See?
to our outrageous language.
Okay, I was right.
You were right.
I was right.
Interesting.
How many times you been gaslighting me? I don't usually run the tape back. I just assume that you're right. How often are you actually wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not like this.
Probably most of the time.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
She has a black
Oh
wife.
gosh.
I wouldn't doubt it, sir.
Well, I guess that kind of, I don't know. She the point I was trying to make is she called the Jews of the day fascists or Marxists, a badist. She said it, not me.
Yeah, exactly, Lucas. Could you imagine standing before Jesus having said this?
And not only, that this isn't like the only crazy thing she said.
No, this is probably tame compared to most of the stuff she preaches from the pulpit.
Well, she wrote a book entitled what?
Oh, Drag Queen Messiah or something like that.
Can we just stop with that?
Yeah. It's
tired. I wonder if this is the exhaust they felt with circus sideshows. Is that why it stopped? Because people
Right.
were just like, ugh, another deformed person. Ugh, another morbidly obese man. Ugh.
Right.
So
It was fun to
bored."
laugh at these people at first, and now
Right.
it's just
And now you're just like,
ugh.
oh, you're keeping them around?
Yeah.
You keep finding more of them? The collection gets bigger?
No.
Oh.
The collection does not get bigger. Most of these videos that we have that you can see parts of the congregation, it's like 4 people and they're all in their 90s.
Oh no, I was talking about the sideshows.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot you have it on the. Never mind. Go ahead.
This is another long one, but we will.
Oh gosh, we'll see how far we get into.
We'll see how far we get into it before I lose my crap and.
I already see 2 strikes. Gaslight Tom Moore. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We have the Jew cross, like Pete Hexeth. Well, it's the Jerusalem cross.
It's the Jerusalem cross. It's
Just because the mainstream media told you that it was something that it was, like, you're really gonna believe them about that, right? They
Yeah.
lie to you about everything else, but that one thing they're definitely telling you the
it's
truth
the
on.
Jerusalem cross is the cross. You know, the cross. Everybody knows cross. And then the four
With
smaller
four
crosses are
smaller.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They represent the Gospels.
Yeah.
So the Jerusalem cross represents Jesus in the Gospels. Anyway, on to the next one.
Two strikes. Lady, priest collar, and a nose ring.
Yeah, and that haircut.
Well, I don't know. You
No.
know.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Riley. I'm one of the social media consultants and supporters for the Episcopal Church.
I'm Erin Scott. I am the Gender Justice Staff Officer for the
Sir,
Episcopal Church.
ma'am.
And we're here to talk about
Gender
getting involved
Justice
with Pride
Staff
in
Officer.
your congregation
Ma'am.
and community.
That's a ma'am.
So, Erin, if my congregation wants to get involved with Pride,
trannies,
what
you're
should
saying?
we be doing?
Yes.
You should do it. You should get involved with Pride. Thank you so much. We're
Yeah,
so
That is.
grateful.
That
for
is absolutely
all of our
right.
Episcopal parishes.
I can
who
see
are
it's
joining
a
Pride,
fat
especially this
lesbian,
year, because
basically.
we
Yeah.
know
A
that
chubby lesbian, yeah.
it's maybe
Yeah.
more important than
It's
ever.
a homely
in
girl
2025.
who's been taking
Some of my
hormone
first questions are for congregations
to
that are
have
doing this for
that
the first
sad
time. Are you
chin beard.
in partnership with anybody?
It's like it
while
doesn't
you're
even
doing
come
this?
up
So
the
are you
chin.
coordinating
It's just like a neck
with
beard.
other
Trying to hear this
congregations
nonsense.
in your diocese?
Oh, sorry.
Are you coordinating with other faith communities who are joining in your local, city or town? How can you be part of something bigger than just your parish? Because this is a time when it's really important for us to be building relationships outside of our individual little fish bowls. This is what Pride is all about, is actually growing our understanding of
It's
who
actually
God.
sickness.
And so
it's actually the worst of the deadly sins.
Spreading the sickness.
Pride is the worst of the deadly sins. Everybody remember that. It's gonna make me do that. Okay. Yeah. I don't even know where to go with this. Like, no church should be telling you to get involved in Pride celebrations.
Oh, see, there you go, Arcane. Yep. Proverbs 16:18.
Yep. Pride goes before destruction.
And a haughty spirit before a fall.
Yep.
Yes. Haughty is a good word. That's a good word we should use more. It's one of my favorite.
Lucas is violently angry. No, I hear you.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was just talking over it, because I'm like, I wonder if it's the voice, because that was kind of making me a little angry.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird. So, like,
No, trust me, guys. I'm a man, and I am the gender inclusivity equity officer of the Episcopal Church. Why does a church have whatever the heck that title is in the first place?
I went to college for gender studies, and this is the only thing I can do.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Okay.
So they're not two gay men; they're just two mentally ill women. Womp.
Yes.
Sad. Although, since they're not two gay men, they haven't done the sodomy. So that's one sin they've saved themselves from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One can hope.
One can hope, yes. Okay, so what is next on the list? Okay. This is a bit shorter, so we'll watch the whole thing. But this is called "This is Why Men Are Leaving the Evangelical Church."
Oh, is this one from Elisha?
Yes. God. I'll show it anyway.
Oh, Elijah.
Why are men leaving the evangelical church? Well, let's listen and find out.
Why did he leave America?
What's good, fam? Happy Mother's Day, Queens. I'm Christina. This is my spawn, Evan. And we are low-key hyped that you pulled up today. I'd say vibes in here are like 6, 7. The Holy Spirit is about to cook.
Mom, oh my goodness. I think we talked about this no Gen Z brain rot at church.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. I think what she's trying to say is welcome everybody and a happy Mother's Day. We are so pumped that you are here today.
That's good, fam. Happy Mother's Day, Queens. I'm Christina. This is my spawn.
So, okay. All right.
This is
Okay.
appropriate at church. First of all, there's a guy in the background. Hold on.
Hey, Jenny.
There's a guy in the background with a guitar. Okay, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Yeah.
And churches don't have guitars, people. I'm sorry.
So, okay.
But anyway, other than that, where do we go? Where do we go with this? Or do we just pretend we never saw it and move on?
I'm violently angry.
That's what made you violently angry?
No.
This one makes me the least angry, I'll be honest with you.
It breaks my brain because like it's one thing to jokingly, okay, so like if I want to annoy Hadley, but I just like did something that warrants like a dunk or like a knuckles or what, or like if I was a child and I did something really cool, I would dab. And I think this is how they do it. You go like this, right? I would do that. And so I'll do that just to annoy her because it's so cringe, to do something that the youth are doing as an old.
Jenny wants to know what she just walked in on. That's my spawn. What did I just walk in on?
Yeah, that's a weird one. So it's always cringy when moms try to be like the hip mom and use the child lingo. So that's an issue in and of itself. No free bird during communion. Womp womp. It's not one of their fake communion services.
Yeah.
Is the main reason.
Yeah. So here's why this bothers me the least out of all this stuff.
Spawn, though.
Well, but this is so the other ones are, first of all, women pastors trying to wear traditional vestments,
Sure.
representing the true Holy Catholic Church.
Yeah. So they're
cosplaying as Catholics, trying to confuse people into thinking that this is real religion.
It's appropriation of sorts.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Basically, look at me. I'm in proper vestments and I have a collar on.
Right. Take me serious.
Yeah, don't pay attention. I'm a woman, but look, I have proper vestments and a collar on, so therefore I am preaching God's word here.
Yeah. It'd be like me walking into
LARPing as a cat. Yeah,
walking in with like scrubs and a stethoscope.
Yeah, but like, guys, who do I operate on today?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm here to take temperatures.
Yeah, like people might actually confuse you for a doctor.
Right. Yes. Okay.
But where these people, they're clearly at a warehouse facility that they turned into a church or a strip mall or whatever, and they got guitar worship bands and a smoke machine. Like, nobody's taking these people seriously.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
You just kind of have a good way of presenting it to us.
Like the type of people,
we like your production.
the type of people that are walking into your church or know what they're walking into.
Do they though?
Yes. Anybody who goes to these non-dom evangelical warehouse strip mall churches with the coffee stand knows that this is what they're walking into. It's
okay, yeah, like that's what to expect.
Yeah,
Okay,
they know this is what to expect. But somebody walking into a traditional looking, somebody from out of town and just like, oh, hey, I'm going to go to church today while I'm here in this town. And they walk into a traditional looking building with a traditional looking, vestments and this and that and the other thing. And then all of a sudden they're listening to
craziness.
Yeah. Or somebody who's never been to a church before and is really looking for answers and shows up to this one because it looks like a church and the lady looks like a priest. And you don't know any better that women can't be priests because you don't know anything about God. But you just strolled in because you just got,
You're just having a day.
You just felt like, you know what, today's the day I'm gonna go look into this Christianity thing. And then you walk into that church.
Yeah.
And you see this person that looks all official in vestments and, telling you this stuff. And that's what you think Christianity is now. You know what I mean?
And it's either right up your alley or it's the worst thing you've ever seen.
Right, or I'm never going back to a church again.
Right.
Either way, it's
or you're like, that was odd. They can't all be like this. Surely.
Yeah. But that's why like these evangelical non-dom churches, it's like whatever, man. Like it's all heresy nonsense, but
it's American Christianity.
It's American Christianity.
It's like the Walmart.
Anybody that walks into that church knows what they're signing up for. Right. You know what I mean? Nobody is going in there thinking they're getting traditional Christianity.
I would say I said Walmart, but what I should have said was it's like the Target of churches because it has a coffee stand in it. Because every Target has a Starbucks. Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it was just mostly the language used and like calling your son a spawn. Even when I think back to like my younger brothers, like they always called our mom like birth giver, If they were ever in a mood or not wanting to refer to her as mom, it was always birth giver, you know? It wasn't a like a spawn point or I don't know. It's just a weird language to use in general, but especially like at a church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Odd
What else do
behavior.
we got here? Oh, here's a man. I think that's a man.
Well, upon first glance, you might think that, but I'm pretty sure my first glance says that that's a chick.
Yeah, I first thought it was too, but they
The
says
longer
German.
that you look.
It says German priest,
Oh,
and these Protestants is really good about saying priestess or priestix if it's a woman. So, but yeah, let's check out the next one.
Well, it's in air quotes, so maybe that's what they're doing there.
Well, priest is in air quotes probably because heresy's coming out of their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna guess they are a Lutheran,
Mm.
German Lutheran, super liberal. Anyway, let's get into this and we'll find out. Let's hear what the voice sounds like.
Mary sat at the feet of Jesus while Martha did all the work. Finally, Martha spoke up and said, "Jesus, why don't you tell her to help me?" And Jesus rebukes her and says that Mary's chosen the right thing. People don't like when I point out that Jesus messed up too. But this is a moment that I feel Jesus seriously grieved the Holy Spirit because, of course, hindsight is always 20/20 and you always realize your sin in reflection. He should have told everyone to get up and help. And then everyone would have gotten up and helped. Everyone would have completed the work, and then everyone could have sat down and been present to the teachings. But instead, he rebuked her in front of everyone. That was a very serious mistake, and I will hold him accountable for it.
You're going to hold him accountable?
I don't think that this disqualifies.
I'm going to hold God accountable for it. Did I just hear somebody say that I'm going to hold God accountable for this?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Ma'am, you're gonna have a lot of other things to
Like,
discuss.
these people have twisted God's word in the Bible so much now that they actually believe that they are the authority on Scripture, not God himself. That's exactly what that is right there. That is somebody saying, no, I am the authority on this, not you, God. You were wrong, and I will tell you how you're supposed to love us and how you're supposed to accept us and how you're supposed to treat things.
That just sounds like a pitch for communism.
Yeah.
Like, no, everyone
Everyone
have
get
to
up and help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea of like the hindsight's always 20/20. You only know your sin in reflection. No, not always, sister. Not always.
Oh no, there's most of the time I'm well aware that I'm sinning while I'm sinning.
Yeah.
And I just don't care.
That is how it goes.
Well, in the past. not current day. I care very
Not
much,
so much,
and I don't sin intentionally.
Right. You choose to not do the thing instead of doing the thing and not caring.
Now my sins are all venial in my head.
You've asked for clarification, I know.
What's that?
I said I'm sure you've asked for clarification, I'm sure.
What do you mean? Ask for clarification on what?
Oh, you just mean like the things that are considered sinful that you do now are like in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the mental sins.
Right, I gotcha.
Getting irritated with people and stuff like that.
Okay.
Always assuming I'm better than everybody because I'm better than everybody.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Those things.
Yeah.
Those things. Yeah. I don't know. She's completely lost the plot. And that sounds like a dumb thing to say considering she's, LARPing as a pastor, but like
not yet, Lucas, but soon. Someday, I hope.
With any luck with an American Pope, our policies on treason may have an effect on his opinion when it comes to eradicating heretics. One could hope. But I don't know. As of right now, I'm pretty sure that it's just a not yet. Not yet.
Oh, here's a good one. This is the one. This is the one I've been waiting to get to. Now, I don't know. Now, the other one with that last one, I'm going to hold God accountable. I don't know if you can top that kind of nonsense. Like,
it's pretty audacious.
Yeah, that's pretty out there. But this is up there too. Actually, I think the next couple are like are all kind of about this along the same lines. Like, I don't know though, man. I didn't really watch that one beforehand. I just
Mm-mm.
I saw 2 seconds of it and was like, yeah, this is good enough. Plus somebody sent it to us, so like I'm not, you guys
Right,
want to
yeah.
see it.
It was pre-screened, right?
I didn't really watch it, but man, I'm going to hold God accountable. I don't know if you can top that. What is that? What heresy is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, we do need another crusade, and this one needs to be in Germany. We need to take back Germany. The German bishops have lost their mind. The German Lutherans have lost their mind. The Germans have lost their mind. We'll start with Germany. We'll figure it out from there.
I'm
We'll
down with
eventually
that.
make it to the Holy Land, I guess.
I'm down with that. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump over.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, this next one is another doozy. So let's.
It's like she wants a ticket to hell without waiting in line. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised she gets struck by lightning right there.
Right. If God wants to punish me, he's going to have to deal with my alpha.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hilarious.
on to the next one here. United Methodist minister explains that praying to God as our Father can be painful, damaging, and traumatic for some. She advises to instead to pray our grandmother who art in heaven or our coach.
What?
Yeah.
What? Our Father. Today we shift ever so subtly from our to Father. What does it mean that we address God in this way? What does that tell us about God, about our relationship to God, and our relationship to each other? Whether you pray, our Father in heaven, or our mother in heaven, or our parent in heaven, it makes no difference in terms of the prayer itself. However, it can make a tremendous difference in the life of the one who is praying. For those with strained or non-existent relationships with the parent, feeling forced to pray to God in a way that brings up that painful familial relationship can have harmful consequences. Where one's parent or caregiver has been unloving or abusive, it can be damaging to pray to God and think of God as parent, especially if doing so projects.
Wrong. First of all, if you don't have a good father, then having a loving father in heaven would be an amazing thing.
Wouldn't that be like the salve to the wound that you've always
Yes.
needed?
Yes, that's exactly what that would
Wouldn't
be.
it be?
Yes, it's exactly that would
But
be.
no, here.
Knowing that
take
you
this
have a loving
pill.
father in heaven, that is better than the one that you had on earth, is a great thing. So that's nonsense. But anyway, it's not damaging to people. It's actually the opposite. It's very healing. But anyway, let's get on.
Abusive qualities onto God. So in that situation, I might counsel a person to consider shaping their prayer around a different metaphor. Perhaps our Creator or our Good Shepherd, if these metaphors have positive associations. But it could even be something like our Sunday school teacher, our grandmother, our coach, our mentor, whatever will elicit from you this sense of belovedness.
Sis, why wouldn't you just say Jesus, right? Like if you're trying to go this long way around, to avoid using the possibly harming gendered language of our Father, why wouldn't you say Jesus?
Because that's not the point of what she's trying to do. The point of what she's trying to do is insert feminine language in there intentionally, or make it unserious altogether, so that people don't take it very. So that people don't take it very
seriously, and so that way they don't pray the one prayer that Jesus gave us explicitly, word for word,
Yeah,
to actually
it's
pray.
intentionally to have people take Christianity not so seriously, because that's what the Bible says. Don't take this very seriously, guys. You know what? Lukewarmness is what I strive for.
Want it just right.
Yeah, isn't that what Jesus said? Lukewarm is the way to go, boys. I think was his exact quote.
Yep. Nope. I love it.
Yeah.
Swallow it up.
Yeah.
I believe is phrasing. Like a pie contest at a state fair.
Yes, this is what you get when church is just to be a good person club. But then also, when we get to change definitions of what an actual good person is to actually just, be
politically correct line.
Be politically corrected degenerate is
good thing.
Yes, being degenerate is a good thing these days.
Yeah. She somebody said a seminary student. Well, that's the thing. I thought she sounded more like a TED Talk person. Like she's just running her next TED Talk by some people.
Yeah.
Like a practice run. Or maybe even a This doesn't sound like a dissertation. It doesn't sound like some sort of a college project, but something like that maybe.
Yeah. All right,
I'm punching the air.
let's get to the next one. I got a few more I want to get through, and we're running short on time here. We only got about 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, can I see that one? Oh, let me go back. Sorry. We got that one. We'll skip that.
That's a longer one.
Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, this is a great one.
Oh, that one, and then the next one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And this one here. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so this crazy bitch who is claiming to be a Presbyterian pastor, Rebecca Todd. So she's a Presbyterian impastor because, you know, she's a woman. She can't really be a pastor. Well, I guess it's Presbyterian, not real church. You can do whatever you want, you know.
If it's already made up.
Yeah, if it's already made up, if it's all made up already, like, hey, may as well have women be priests too, whatever.
Where's those tablets at?
What are we talking about?
Nothing. I was talking about made up stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was a golden tablet stick.
Yeah. All right. So
Jokes aren't funny if
during the sermon, Presbyterian and Pastor Rebecca Todd Peters explains that the decision to have two of her children was far more significant moral decision than her decision to abort her other two children.
Oh.
So this is a priest, pastor, whatever you want to call them, in the Presbyterian Church, has had multiple abortions. Sweet.
And I can say without a doubt that the two decisions we made to have children were far more significant moral decisions than the decisions to end two pregnancies. Women who have ordinary abortions in this country, the I don't want to have a baby abortions, are regularly making morally significant decisions that honor the sacred responsibility of mothering. And these women, the women who have abortions, have a whole lot to teach us about motherhood. There is ample evidence that these women approach their unplanned pregnancies in morally serious ways.
It shows that these women went out and spread their legs for every Tyrone that said, hey, what's up, baby? And wound up getting knocked up all the time. That's all it tells you, is they're promiscuous.
Deeply informed by a realistic understanding of what mothering requires, and thoughtful about both their existing moral obligations and their personal, fiscal, and emotional limitations as they consider their...
Okay, so this is directly against the teachings of the church. And honestly, I don't care what church you are. I don't care if you're a Presbyterian or a Protestant, whatever. None of these teachings have ever been part of the church. It's actually been the complete opposite.
Right.
I don't understand how you can square abortion with Christianity and with Christ.
Well, you can't square it with Christianity and Christ or God. You can square it with Judaism, though. What's up, baby?
Tyrone.
That's how it went down, too.
That's exactly how it went down.
We got the footage from the 7-Eleven parking lot.
Yeah. No, I saw it all. It's a word for word quote.
It's crazy that you knew that.
Yes, it is actually a sin to hate these people, Lucas. What we need to do is pray for these people. It's fun to dunk on them for a minute, but honestly, we do need to pray for these people.
And when we pray for them, sometimes we could be creative. Sometimes we can be creative, especially if it's like a difficult case. If you know that it's the type of person that really needs a message to get something, you can ask the Holy Spirit to deliver a very specific message, right? Like, for this woman in particular, I would, one of the prayers I would say for her, if I was trying to not hate her, I would
ask the Lord to make her mouth always taste like Bullard.
No.
Oh.
No. I would ask the Holy Spirit to give her an afternoon where she feels like one of her two children who found out that they had two other siblings that she just decided to murder.
I wouldn't be surprised if they already know the way she talks about
You
it at
know, like
church. They probably already know, but she's conditioned them and trained them to think that that's normal, and it's a good thing that mommy got rid of them because I wouldn't get as much love and attention, and I'd have half as many Christmas presents, and I'd have half as many birthday presents, and I'd have half of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
She's
exactly
probably
the
conditioned,
message
yeah,
that
that
they're
conditioned those
receiving.
kids to be selfish, like they're selfish. Oh, you don't want siblings? You'd have half as much stuff. Do you want to share a bedroom with somebody?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to share your toys.
Yeah,
You don't have to share your time. Oh yeah, yeah.
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 So that's that crazy lady. Um, I not even finished that video. It's not even worth it. I like this comment though. May I suggest a revision of the legal code
Oh yeah.
with the
Yeah.
noose?
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even have to get to the news part. We could just shut down those types of churches,
Yeah.
right? We can just
They
bring
will shut themselves down eventually. Another 10 years and these places will be gone. The problem is, even if you make
10 years.
but it doesn't matter. We don't have to attend these places, so who cares?
I know we don't have to attend.
Basically, you
these
just gotta wait
places.
for the last of the parishioners to die.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: when you try to make the church more like the world, the people of the world don't want the church.
Right.
They've already turned their back on God. They're not going to come back just because you say God's cool with the stuff they do. Like, okay, cool, it's cool stuff I do.
Sweet,
So
right, do I need him?
why do I need him then? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to bring these people into the church, not in any large numbers. Maybe 2 or 3 here and there.
And they won't stay for long.
And the people that this appeals to are aging out fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, once the boomers die and the 10, 15 more years, once all these people are gone, these churches will disappear.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Well, and it's also, we also have to consider the Gen Xers, the elder Gen Xers that are like basically boomers mentally.
Yeah.
Like as far as the way that they operate in the world, the way
Yes.
that they
No, there
think
is
about
still so
things.
that's why 10 to 15 years to age all these people out. Yes. But there's so far fewer of them. Like the system will collapse around those.
Right.
The older Gen Xers that are kind of like the boomers, are kind of like this kind of thing. There's not near enough of them to sustain
support it and
all these
sustain it.
communities.
Yeah,
It'll be a
that's true.
couple. There'll be a couple.
A few out, but it'll go back to just being San Francisco's for the gays.
Yeah. These churches will be so few and far between because there's not enough people to support it.
Sweet.
Yeah, we just gotta wait them out. And the evangelical churches, the smoke machine churches, they're always kind of, I think, going to be a thing in this country, and they're a crossroads. Is what they are.
They're
When you show up to those churches, when you show up to the evangelical churches, it's a crossroads. You're there for a little while, and then you either fizzle out and realize like I was never really a Christian.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like I'm not willing to believe in the true real things that these guys believe in, and this is nonsense. So I guess it's just not for me.
Right.
Or you get there and then you go, oh, cool, God, but this ain't it. And you find
something more
the traditional, the Orthodox or the Catholic Church or whatever.
Yeah.
So the evangelical thing is a kind of a crossroads for most people. Very, very, very few people stay there for like my mom, who stay there for 30 years in that world.
That's true.
And honestly, again, that's a generational thing. That's a boomer thing. The only people that stay in those churches for a long time are boomers.
Yeah.
Young people, as I said, it's crossroads. They either abandon Christianity altogether or they go Catholic or Orthodox. So I don't know. Maybe those places won't survive either after a while because I don't think those young people stay long enough and tithe enough. You know what I mean?
That's the thing that just, so as I'm sitting here being quiet and like looking, like I'm thinking about stuff, I am thinking about stuff. I was just kind of like considering all of the markets that are supported by the boomer, and that type of person. You have all of your religious organizations, right? Your non-denoms, these types of places. They're the ones that tithe. They're the ones that have been tithing for the last frickin' 50 years. You know what I mean? So like, financially, they're invested in these places. And then they're also the ones who support like the cruise industry. They're the ones who support 3 or 4 other industries financially. And when they go, like there's not enough of us younger people who do the cruise life. There's not enough of us younger people who tithe in the amounts that boomers tithe, because for the most part, and I don't want to like single out the actual people that I know, but like in my experience, in all of the vast amounts of humans that I've known in my years, the idea of tithing for most people at a non-denom church is like, what do I owe God for my sins?
Yeah.
What are my reparations to God this week?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a set 10% of my salary. It's like oh, I was bad this week. So here's, X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
I was pretty good this week. I opened the door for like 9 old ladies, and I didn't do nothing exceptionally
I'm just
bad.
gonna
So let
say
me just not toss nothing in there.
the amount of Gen Z and Gen X that are in these evangelical megachurch things
Mhm.
are, one, never going to be in large enough numbers once the boomers die off,
Right.
and two, will never tithe enough to keep those places open, those megachurches.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, Lucas, I came from a non-denominational background myself. That's how I know how nonsense it is. That's how I know they turn you away from God, because that's exactly what
Congratulations,
happened to me.
Dax.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Wah,
Dax,
wah,
I will share this for like a fourth
wah.
time.
Good job.
Yes, awesome. I hope you get a city council seat.
Yeah.
And then
I appreciate the idea.
I want a holiday named after me if that happens.
I like the idea that you didn't campaign, you didn't do anything, and you still managed to get the votes. That's a hopeful sign.
The least I will take is a street name.
A street name.
Yeah, I would like a holiday, but I'll take a street name if that's all I can get.
Settle for what you can get. Yeah, shout out Margaritaville Cruise Line.
Done. Sweet. I get either holiday or street. Awesome. I'm happy now.
There you go.
Look
at you.
Okay, next video, please.
All right, on to the next one.
Oh God. Okay. This is one of this is from the Netherite Church, I believe.
No, we
Lutheran church preacher, right?
Yeah.
That's
Tom the Sailor Avenue. Sold.
There we go. No, I'm just busting Netherite's balls. This is not from his church.
No.
This is the ELCA.
His church isn't this hideous.
No, this is the ELCA. We all know about them. They're okay, let me share this. Lutheran church preacher explains that baby Moses trip in a basket on the Nile River has queer themes and is actually about kinship outside of heteronormative family structure, as well as a metaphor for the turbulence that trans folks experience at the hands of the church.
Ugh.
To tell you about why the Exodus reading today tugs at my queer little heart.
My queer little heart.
The story of Moses in the
Hold
river
on,
is
let me make this bigger, because also I'd like to point out, look at this. Look at all the walkers in here.
Literally, family found in the reeds.
Like, this is not even church. One of these idiots is wearing a mask.
That God calls us to be.
Two of those idiots are wearing masks.
Three of these idiots. Is that a mask too?
I don't know.
Can't tell because of the sunlight.
It seems
Geriatric. All of them are geriatric.
They are part of him, and moreover, they're part of how he got to her.
Yeah.
So I think her choice to name him as she does is also a choice to love him relentlessly and unconditionally. I think it is a tiny act of resistance against an oppressive empire that enslaved Moses' people. I think it's a promise to keep him safe. I think it's a commitment to helping him remember where he came from and to appreciate all the parts of himself. So too with us and God. I want to focus on the ways in which this is particularly true for queer folks. There's the relatively obvious. God creates, sees, and loves our queerness before we do. God knew me as the trans bi adult I would become long before I did.
God knew me as the trans bi adult that he always knew I would be when he created me.
He didn't plan that for you.
No, he did not plan for you at all. That was Satan.
Some marketing agency.
That was Satan that did that to you, not God.
Plan that.
Me as such, in fact. No part of me needs to be left behind in order for God to love me and call me to discipleship. But there is another layer, and it's that one that keeps tugging at me. Because I think about Moses' traumatic origins. An infant born into an era of oppression and violence, buffeted about on the Nile River with just a basket for protection. And I think about how Pharaoh's daughter names this trauma as part of his belovedness. She drew him from the waters in his wholeness, and it is that wholeness that she loved.
What?
Likewise, I think about the confusion, the fear, the trauma that my queer siblings experience, both in the institutional
Queer
church
siblings? So you and all your siblings or your brothers and sisters are queer?
Well,
That had
no.
nothing to do with your parents?
No, I think she's talking about like symbolic brothers and sisters.
I don't think so. Nowadays, everybody who's got a trans kid's got 3 trans kids, right?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Sure. It's
So basically,
definitely.
her parents did this to the whole family.
Well, it's kind of like
Not God. This wasn't God's plan for you. This was your parents' plan for clout.
this is the zombie outbreak that they never prepared us for. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they subliminally prepare, and also like
Okay,
every
I'm done with
TV
the
show,
trans, queer, bi.
every TV show,
preacher.
every movie was about a zombie apocalypse there for a minute. And
Right.
we've been preparing for this, right? We know how it spreads by contact. You know, we know how it spreads. But this is the zombie apocalypse, right? The
Oh, hold on, real quick. Let's watch the same person introduce herself by her queer, trans, non-binary pronouns.
I can't believe we didn't know who we were listening to.
Yeah, not ready?
Reba. I use they, them pronouns. I am queer in both identity and politics. I'm a student at Vancouver School of Theology and a candidate for ordination in the Anglican Church of Canada.
The Anglican
I
Church.
think every dog is the most
Oh, the
beautiful
Catholic.
dog in the world.
Get your people.
I'm an Aries with a Scorpio moon, and I moonlight as a voice actor on a fiction podcast.
I'm an Aries with a Scorpio moon. So now we're bringing astrology into the church, huh?
I'm queer in my identity
And politics. Yes.
I appreciate that she said that second part. That's going to be useful to me in situations. Yeah, Reba.
God knew ye threw a plasma blast at your city.
Reba, was it, dear?
Yes, that was Reba.
Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the complete and unabridged up. Get out of that theological school that you found yourself in and go to the nearest park. Take off your socks and shoes and wander in the grass. Make sure you don't step in any dog poop. Don't do that. Watch out for the goose poops. It's goose poop season. But go wander around in some grass barefoot. And chuck your phone in the nearest body of water.
Or chuck your whole self in the nearest body of water with a brick tied to you.
If you could swim. If it's a shallow one.
No, just drown yourself. You know who should drown themselves? This lady. Because she's teaching kids this nonsense.
We should, yeah.
So let's go to this. We're running short on time. I really want to show this one.
All right.
This is a Mennonite. I did not know the Mennonites were now ordaining women and going off the deep end, but apparently they are.
Oh, yeah. They're out
So
there.
a Mennonite pastrix, female pastor, tells kids that the rainbow in Noah's Ark story is a symbol of the LGBTQ and represents being a good friend and ally. And she's teaching like 3, 4, 5-year-olds this nonsense.
What?
Yeah, so this person needs to be struck by lightning because she's leading these kids astray, and these kids don't know well enough to know that like this is not right in church. They think this is God's plan,
Right.
because this is what they're being taught in a church, and they're not old enough to know better.
Yeah.
And they're getting brainwashed before they even get a chance.
Well, just like they're not old enough to know any better in the freaking schoolhouse when the rainbow design is on everything.
So let's go to this one.
Yeah, Micah, it meant that there was dry land that the dove could find the olive leaf. That was a symbol that God used and that we continue to use today at our church. What other symbol from the Noah's Ark story can you remember? There's another symbol in that story. Yes, Carter, a rainbow. Look, we've got some rainbows. I have a rainbow bracelet today. A rainbow. Do you know that rainbows are another kind of symbol beyond what God intended the rainbow to mean? Jerian. It is a symbol for LGBTQ plus people. That is right. And they're beautiful. I agree. I agree. I'm going to show you. There are doors with rainbow decals in each one of those pictures. Whose doors are those? They are the churches. All of the doors to the outside we have those
your
rainbow
Ryan kid with
decals
all the weird answers
on our doors.
older than the
And
rest
that
of
is a
them.
symbol
Right.
to people who come to our church that all people are welcome here. They're a symbol so that everyone can see, but there is a special, it's a special welcome to a group of people which we have already named, and those are people who call themselves LGBTQ+.
The
Right?
LGBTQuitas.
They might
Yep.
call themselves other kinds of things too. Katie, what do you call yourself?
Well, I call myself the same word that I just talked about a little bit up there. I identify as a queer woman, which means that I'm attracted to other women and not men.
Okay, so Katie identifies as queer. When
Wouldn't that make you
people
a
see
lesbian?
those rainbows on the
Can't just be a
doors,
lesbian
it
anymore.
is a
Oh, not
symbol
for
to
white.
them that
Yeah.
they are
gotta
really
be queer
welcome in
or
this
trans
church.
if you're
Oh,
white.
lots of. I would also like to say we do have people here, part of our church family, who are LGBTQ+.
Yeah, this woman needs to be. Both of these women need to be publicly executed for teaching these
So
kids this.
I think,
Yes, exactly. Stacks rope. Get it.
yeah.
Hey, when did Mr. Squatch sneak in here?
Squatchy snuck
How
in.
long have you been here, sir?
He snuck in here about 5 minutes ago.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Who let him in
Um,
here?
I don't know.
Somebody lock that door.
So I think that we, as a group, we should start a company, and we'll go and we'll start selling concrete life jackets. See where I'm going with this?
Yes.
See where I'm going with this?
Yeah, Jenny, tossed into the deepest part of the ocean, for sure.
Yeah, because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but we don't quite mill things the way that we used to. So millstones aren't as readily available as they used to once were. And when you do find them, they want a lot of money for those. I
Yeah.
don't know if y'all have ever watched American Pickers or not, but them millstones go for a pretty penny. And a bag of Quikrete is like $2.39 at the Blaine's.
Right, yeah. And you can build concrete forms, you know what I mean?
I
Out of some
could make
plywood.
I could make a form for a life jacket.
Yeah.
Just one of them ghetto orange ones, you
Yep.
know? One of them U ones with the one little strappy thing, and you're like, I'm gonna drown anyways.
Man, also, honestly, you could just wet the bag of concrete and put a chain on it to the leg, drop them in. You don't can do that much work.
Right.
I mean, it's not as entertaining. There's the pageantry isn't there if you just do it that way.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you could just grab
Either way,
any heavy thing to
Either
'em.
way, y'all, we're about to start a concrete business. Either that or we should start buying stock in Quikrete for whoever does. Not financial advice. No, I'm just kidding. Don't go buying stocks in Quikrete.
Mm.
I don't even know if they're publicly traded.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that one is
Yeah, no, pretty good at it. Pretty good at it.
as the rumor says. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'll let you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Concrete life jackets and blood eagles.
Yeah.
All for anybody who wants to
But yeah,
that's deserving of one.
What parent puts their kids in front of these two morons is beyond me.
But the same people that'll say the same people who will send their children to be in front of those people will screech at us, I'd never leave my child with a priest. As if you go to a Catholic church, there's some separate kids church that you sign your kids up for and hand them off like a daycare center.
Right.
As if there's as if we do things the way that y'all's weird asses do them.
All right. I think we'll close it out with this one here.
All right.
So,
Ooh, cement shoes. What did I think
actually,
about?
I want to show. I'll show these two. Let's touch this one real quick because this person says that
no.
during her Easter sermon, and Pastor Carla
Cheatham.
We've seen this crazy bitch earlier. Of Faith United Church of Christ in New Braunfels, Texas, denies the literal resurrection of Christ. It denies that Christ was actually resurrected, literally. So, figuratively, I guess is what she thinks it is. But let's hear.
Interesting.
The tombs that hold us back, our conflict avoidance, our fear that we don't know what to say, our fear that we are too young, our fear that we are too old, our fear that we are too shy, our fear that we are too uneducated, our fear that we are too insert any excuse here. Whichever version of the gospel you read, there were some who went and saw Jesus not there and went, whew, and had an angel go, yeah, Jesus is not here. Go tell the rest of them. And then others who went and saw, was like, oh, what's going on? He's not here, and I'm going to leave. Maybe they've taken his body. Maybe his enemies have taken his body and have desecrated it. And so didn't know what to believe and what to do. But some way, somehow, all of them got a message that Jesus was no longer being crucified.
Well, yeah, because they took his body down. They were there.
And I don't know if you believe in a literal resurrection. I don't know if you believe in a literal need for atonement to cover for sins. Here I tend to teach that the resurrection was about the resurrected Christ resurrecting himself in us, as we also act as children of God and do not get small and do not get violent. And we teach that what's salvific about
her
the
ain't got
cross
shoes on?
is just that.
Yeah.
Why her ain't got shoes on? I just realized her's barefooted. She's barefooted. Why she ain't got no shoes on?
Non-violent resistance. He stood up to the powers of the day, and when he
So Jesus' resurrection was not an actual resurrection. It was about nonviolent resistance to the government. Does that sum it up, guys? Do you guys think that that's true as well? I think she got it. I think she nailed it on the head there. Jesus wasn't actually resurrected. It's just a symbol for nonviolent resistance against the government.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Well, thank you for clearing that up, because I thought Jesus actually resurrected from the dead for my sins.
Yeah, I thought for sure Thomas saw his body resurrected and stuck his hands in the wounds and everything.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that's how it went down, but apparently not.
Yeah. Found Jesus in county jail. Yeah.
Honestly, subliminal, me too. I like the Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That Cholo guy. I like him better. I'd watch that guy for 8 hours before watching her for another 3
Yeah.
3 minutes.
So yes, this lady's crazy.
Why was her barefooted?
I don't know. And then we'll get to this one real quick. I don't even want to. I mean, that last one was just too absurd. Like,
She's all over the place. She's pretty consistently heretical.
yeah.
That
So at the
Mohawk
PCUSA's 2024 Matthew 25 conference, Reverend Liz Theoharis says that Jesus doesn't care about who marries who or about controlling women's bodies. Rather, his priorities are food, immigrant rights, healthcare, decent housing, and prison abolition. That sounds nothing like what Jesus cared about.
Yeah, the same guy who grew up just
Poor?
pitching a tent and
Yeah.
being poor.
The guy who lived
is
poor?
interested in decent housing.
The guy who said, "Blessed will be the poor." Like, yeah, no, Jesus was told you're going to suffer on this planet. You're going to be poor. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. You're going to be persecuted.
It's gonna suck.
It's going to suck.
They're gonna
but
not
your
like
reward
you.
is in heaven.
Yep.
You know? So no, Jesus didn't care about food or immigrant rights or healthcare or decent housing. He didn't care about any of those things. In fact, he cared about the opposite. Your treasures are in heaven. Suffer here and be glad.
Yep.
So let's see what this crazy bitch has to say.
Okay.
So in Matthew 25, when he's gathered with all of these political and religious leaders from the nations, Jesus raises then what matters most to him, what matters most to God. Now I have a spoiler alert. The issues that Jesus holds dear, they're not about gun rights. They're not waving flags, determining who gets to marry who. They're not about politicians picking their voters rather than voters electing their leaders. They're not about controlling women's bodies or people who can get pregnant. They're not about banning books or...
First of all, any church where people start going, whoo, and clapping in the middle of a sermon or middle of a homily is what I should say, because that's what, if it's not a homily, it's not a real church service.
Format. This is it. Yeah.
Then you need to leave that church. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're anywhere near a woman preaching, you need to leave that church.
Yeah.
And if she's saying things like this, you need to leave that church. But also, if you're in a church where people are woo and clapping in the middle of church service, just get up and walk away.
Yeah. Just really go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Looking away from violence and genocide or harassing and threatening LGBTQIA youth. No, the Bible is pretty clear. Those issues are the work, the law of empire.
What?
And Jesus is clear about that,
I don't think
even
he
if
is.
some who claim to follow him aren't.
What?
Rather, Jesus' main concerns are food, sustenance, immigrant rights, healthcare, an adequate standard of living,
was no
decent
such thing
housing,
as
prison
immigrant rights
abolition,
in Jesus'
all
time.
of those issues that we heard in that opening video.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So that's
in the
enough of this.
opening video, in the opening pitch to activate the quote unquote Christians for the government's needs.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You're one of
Yeah.
those churches.
So yeah, that's crazy lady. So these are all heresies you people need to avoid.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go with that.
She can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
With that. She can
So
never be on stage or on behind a pulpit again. That would be cool.
right.
Where's the lectern guy? Adam, go steal her lectern. That's what we need to get Adam to do, guys. Guys. That's what we need to get the lectern guy to do. We need to get the lectern guy to go to these crazy people places of worship. And we need him to steal their lecterns so they don't have somewhere to stand behind and talk on Sunday.
Yes.
I'll clip this and send it to Adam, please and thank you. I know you just did your Capitol tour, so you're probably not big on vacation time from stay-at-home dad life, but
All right.
you can
Yeah.
squeeze it in. You can start locally.
So then one more quick thing, just because I mean,
Why not?
why not? This is quite hilarious. This is not anybody preaching heresy. This is just what I would expect to see in this kind of congregation. And it's 54 seconds. Let me share this. This is Reverend Dr. Sean T. Atkins of Antioch Baptist Church, who also happens to be a certified life coach, celebrates 20 years of preaching with this entrance to her party. And this is a female preacher of the Baptist Church.
Well, the Sean spelled weirdly kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
And it's not like, not to be that person, but it's not like spelled ethnically enough. It's just it's a like a feminine spelling, not an
Yeah.
ethnic spelling.
So anyway, here is let me make this big.
Oh.
Turntable, elevator. I don't know. And this is what some people call church. That's enough of that.
I don't think that was a church. I think that she's just a reverend doctor of the Antioch whatevers.
I'm just saying, like, this is how some church people think of a pastor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
You ain't even been to a real seminary. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. We went to basically a Bible college.
If that.
If that.
If she went to anything, if not just stood up there and was like, "Oh, I'm a priest now. I'm a preacher now."
Yeah, that's true.
Her daddy was probably the preacher of the church beforehand.
I was
And
just about to say, my daddy did this, and I planted this church, and thank you for being here.
yes.
Pass the plate,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go fix me a plate.
So yeah, guys, that's a whole bunch more heresies from Protestants.
I hope that doesn't exist, subliminal messenger.
What would I miss?
Oh, you know what? Go ahead and highlight that because I
This
saw
one?
so yeah. Please show a church
Full of furries. Oh, I don't.
let's hope that doesn't exist. I'm sure it
Yeah.
does exist, but let's hope that it doesn't. Let's hope that it doesn't. Let's cross our fingers and hope that doesn't exist, but I know it does. I know it does. I heard something interesting or read something interesting rather. So you know how like in Harry Potter they all get sorted into different houses? Most European schools, and by European I mean like British or Australian schools, when you do get to high school, there are houses that you're sorted into, like different
Yeah, boarding schools and stuff. Yeah.
boarding schools do it, other places you're sorted into different things,
Yeah.
like where you have different cliques that you go through. Um, but also in that it's like they have their own mascots. So how like a school will be like a
Yes, detox. Not extra. It definitely does burn.
Oh yes, it does. It
Yes.
does. My blood pressure is not great. Oh, Lucas. I'm sorry, buddy. Just take a few deep breaths. None of these crazy people are near you. You didn't actually have to be in their presence.
Right.
The the breed of old people has changed because honestly, if there would have been any of those cotton heads around when like in my day, and
No, my
somebody
grandparents would never sat through a church service like
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
But
Like
their kids love that shit.
I don't know that they love it or they've just been like beaten into tolerating it and being okay with it. It's just like I wasn't allowed to say anything at the office. I shouldn't say anything now.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. I'm just an old footy duddy. What do I know?
Yeah, no, it's all the old hippies. All the hippies are now geriatrics, and this is their thing, man. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, you guys, this is a thing that's going on in the church world right now. Just so you guys know, find yourself a good Catholic church. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
that's
And honestly,
my advice.
And honestly, from what I've seen, even like the quote unquote bad Catholic churches are better than that. You know what I mean? Like they're better than dealing with that.
Right. And I don't like. No, I'm just gonna show this one on the way out.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, JC showed us or sent us this one.
Yeah. I do like this one. So, and this is, it says, movies made by not Catholics use Catholic imagery to create an aesthetic for villains. Then NPCs are like, why does your church look like the evil empire? Congrats, you fell for anti-Catholic propaganda. Like, yeah, because the movies copy
Because your
our
villains
stuff,
look like us.
Yeah.
Mostly that's
because
why.
Hollywood copies everything Catholic. Is basically why, for good and bad. That's yeah.
Can't help themselves.
They don't ever make movies like The Exorcist about Protestants.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it's never, they don't make a Protestant Assembly of God. No, they make movies like Conclave about the Catholics. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. I've got that. I got that image subliminal just sent. I'm gonna send it over.
Oh, okay.
Let me do this real quick. Super fast. Fast.
Hurry up! Coming up on 9 o'clock here.
I know.
I'm tired.
I know. I am too. That one and send. Okay. It says uploading. It says sent. You should have that.
This one here?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
I've
one.
seen this one before. Yeah.
Ugh. Subliminal.
Yeah. No, that's not it's usually a tattooed biker dude sitting there doing this. But yes, no, you are not a Christian if you're sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is nonsense. This is
so
complete
many.
nonsense.
There's so many.
This is that whole
layers
trying to
to
twist.
that.
That's that whole trying to twist the gospel into fitting it. Just like the LGBTQ.
Right. That's what I was. I'm like.
It's just like all those lady priestesses we just watched trying to twist the gospel into this weird message.
Right. It's just
It
one.
doesn't exist.
It's just one slight deviation off on each of these things. They're all wrong. They're just like 1 or 2 degrees off.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
It's all the same type of heresy.
Right.
Just presented.
You're a child of God. Or you're a child of God. He created you exactly how he wanted you, and needs exactly you to solve a problem here on Earth.
Yeah.
Right? Like he doesn't make any mistakes. If he wanted you to be a fox, he would have
made you a fox.
You'd have been a fox. You wouldn't be a human person capable of creation and thought and critical thinking and worshiping God, to sit here and desire to be a fox.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, guys. With that being said, it's about time to get out of here. I'm tired. I'm not going to sit here and listen to Emily ramble on and on and on for hours about nonsense.
Yep, that's what I do on Mondays.
We're
and
shutting off her
Fridays.
mouth.
Yep.
All right. No.
We're not girls.
Yeah. So thank you all for showing up tonight. We really appreciate it. Thanks for sending those videos in, because all those were sent in by you guys.
It was a completely viewer submitted content
Yeah.
show.
Catholic timeline cleanse, if you will.
Yes, if you will.
So So yeah, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for showing up. God bless every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your week. You'll be here Friday on the Morning Crew channel.
Yep, I will be here Friday morning, 6:30 a.m. Do you want to hang out for Morning Crew or no? You're gonna be off. Probably not.
No, I'm going to mass on Friday
Okay.
morning. So
Well, I mean, I can kick out early. I can do an hour show.
okay, I don't know if you want.
I don't know.
I'm yeah.
Anyways,
I got other things to do. I actually have to do some
He has-
work. I got to do my.
oh, your meeting and stuff.
No, I gotta put my Friday the week data into my graphs and charts and slides and send it off to the VP.
People who need them.
Yeah, to the higher ups, the board and all that.
Yes.
So but yes, so I will not be here Friday.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'll see you guys Friday morning.
She'll be here Friday
for
morning,
Crew,
and
6:30
then
a.m. Central.
Yep. And then we will be here Sunday for a quick mass reading show.
Yes.
And that's about it.
Yes.
So I will see you guys Sunday. Everybody have a wonderful evening. God bless you all. Thank you very much for being here.
We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentatio